Let me just respond back to you, sir, and your comment on and your challenge about the regulation of religion. I think it's very clear, and I hope I made it very clear, that you cannot ever cloak some illegal and unlawful act, and obviously some form of violence would be front and center there. And by trying to claim that somehow your religious freedom empowers you or excuses you from that. I think that when it comes to actually curbing or limiting people's opportunity to believe or to practice their belief however they want to, even if you see what has, I know, been referred to in some contexts as mushroom churches, isn't, I believe, a good enough reason to actually shut those down. Because you have to question, what are you left with if you say that we will now decide who can and cannot preach or teach or practice their faith, however they preach, as long as it's lawful? If you start to say you're going to be limited, and we now need to see what you are going to do before we give you a license or a certificate or whatever it is to do so, then essentially you are removing people's right to believe what they want to believe and to follow what they want to follow. And I don't believe that, and I can see you shaking your head, but I don't believe that let's say the benefit of actually saying that somehow the state, which ultimately is involved, has the right to decide what people can and cannot believe, is the solution. In South Africa, one of the things that we did, and I think this is an important thing, is a group of academics, interfaith leaders came together and they produced a religious freedom charter, which effectively unpacks the right to religious freedom in some depth and detail. And the flip side of that was they also produced a code of conduct to which, again, people do voluntarily subscribe, but you can probably very quickly see the rogues from the good guys by who will or who will not subscribe to those views and values. If you are exercising your right responsibly, and if you are exercising your right in a way that does no harm, then for the state to step in and somehow say, this is, in our view, what is allowed and this is what in our view is not, is a very serious undermining of the right to religious freedom, which is, as I say, a foundational right of all human rights.